Hey guys, it's Nicole. Welcome back to Chronicles of a Crafter. Today I'm going to play with some index cards. Okay, these are just a few of my index card stash. And what I want to make are some of these cute little notebooks. Like, isn't that adorable? So what I've done in the past was use these little notebooks as spine dangles, or you can even turn them into like little Christmas tree ornaments or present tags. And it has like this cute little section in here that you can just write little notes to or from, or even use it as a mini journal. All right, so let's make a couple of these. Actually, I want to make 4, okay, and I'll show you why. But yeah, we're gonna play with some index cards. These are 3 by 5, I believe. Let's just make sure. Yep, 3 by 5. They're the smaller of the 2 size index cards come in, and we're gonna use our little mini scoring board right here to get the measurements. All right, let's just make something. I'll be right back. Okay, so I've zoomed you in really close. Okay, I'm hoping that it stays focused once my hands come into the picture, but I don't think it will. We'll just try it and see what happens. Okay, I'm just going to take one of my index cards. All right, just one. I'm going to flip it over to the lined side. Okay, and I'm just going to score it right away at 2.5. Okay, that's the center part, or the center mark, and fold that over. Now you're going to realize that even if you score it, at 2.5 of a 5-inch index card, it's not going to be even. So you want to even it up with your fingers, okay? Because the scoring will take it'll pick a choice. Like, it'll choose which side it wants to go on. So the little groove right here will it'll pick a side. All right, and then I'm just going to bone fold that score mark out once I've evened up the mark. Okay, so from there we want to score, and let me just find my little, this is my little prototype that I've been playing with. Okay, so from there we want to score at this right now is at 2.5. We want to score let's see, 3/4 of an inch. So we're gonna go 1/4, 2/4, 3/4 of an inch at 1. Oops, sorry, I'm not even in shot. At 1 3/4. So here we go. 1 3/4. You're gonna score right through there. Okay. And we're going to open up our index card. And we have 2 score marks, one on each side, because when you folded it, we went all the way through. Okay, here, let me just back you up because I'm afraid this focus is not working. You're just gonna have to trust me on these measurements. I know it's a lot to ask. Trust me, I'm a crafter, so it'll work out. Okay, then you want to open up your index card, right, and then rotate it on its side. And we are going to score at, we want it to be 2 1/4 inches tall when it's complete. Okay, so I'm going to score it right now at 2 3/8 right here. Okay, and then I'm going to rotate it. Actually, I should have scored it at 2 5/8. I'm sorry guys, 2 5/8 on one side, and then I'll rotate it and score it at 2.5. Okay, so it's going to be a little uneven, the top from the bottom. So the first score mark, when you open up your index card, rotate it to the side, and on your first score mark will be 2 5/8. Okay, and then you rotate it again and score it at 2.5. All right, I'm hoping that's correct. Let's just give it a try and see what we get. And I'm just folding up all of our score marks, and I don't think that's correct, but we'll see. Yep, that's the right measurements. Now it is a 2 1/4 inch little mini notebook cover. So if you want, you can get rid of some of that bulk, and you see this little triangle right here when you close the jacket of the book, you see like it buckles. That's how much you want to get rid of right there in the middle. So let's open it back up, and I'm just going to use my Tim Holtz tiny snips and just snip that little section right there and right there. Okay, and do the same thing on the bottom. This bottom side didn't buckle, but we know that's how much we need to remove. Okay, and now you want to close over your sides just to make sure that everything lines back up. Okay, and I'm going to glue down just this section right here. So here's my score mark. Okay, I'm only going to put glue right in here and then right in here. I'm not going to glue this scored section on the edges. Okay, we're not gluing down there. We're only putting glue here and here and then here and here, and I'll show you why. Okay, but you do want to glue that section down. If you want, you can snip it. I don't think it will make much of a difference, but if you want to, you can just cut it so you know where you're gluing. All right, I'll grab my, let's do some just simple PVA glue. This is lightweight paper. It's not you know, cardstock or anything. It's fairly lightweight. These index cards nowadays are so cheapy. I don't know why. I remember back in the day, index cards were some sturdy, hefty school supplies. Like they were solid as a rock. You can stand in front of your class forever, give a speech and everything with those index cards. These unfortunately are fairly cheap. So okay, so now there's that, and I want to fold back over our little flap right here and fold back over our flap right here, just making sure that nothing buckles. Okay, and again, if you want, you can slit this open, but you need the security of the flap to stay intact, so that's why I didn't cut mine. Alright, so now we have this, oops, now we have this cute little notebook cover, and this is where we're going to add our paper. I've seen this project done, I'll zoom you out. I've seen this project done on, it's called 5-Minute Crafts, I think it is, and it's just like some really fast forward crafting that's done on the internet. I think maybe they have a YouTube channel, or I've always seen it just on Instagram or whatever, but yeah, 5-Minute Crafts, and they do it so quickly. You have to watch that 5-minute craft like 37 times. So there goes the 5-minute theory. It's painstaking to watch those 5-minute crafts, because you know it took them 27 minutes to make it, but through the power of the internet, they can edit out what they don't need you to see. So now we're going to cut our paper, and we're doing 2-inch strips. This is not this is just a cream color paper. It's not copy weight, it's resume weight, and I got this at a thrift store. Let's find the box. Here we go. So yeah, I just picked these up at a thrift store. They're just resume esque paper. Okay, so if you ever see these in a thrift store or you know, a garage sale or what have you, it's heavier cottony paper, a little bit heavier than just plain copy paper. This one's 100% cotton. This one's 25% cotton fiber. I just know, like, it's a much more better quality paper than just the standard copy paper. So I'm gonna cut 2-inch strips on this. This one is just a cream colored one. So I know for each book that I make, I'm gonna need at least 2 strips. I think 2 strips should be plenty. But I'm just gonna cut this all up right now so I don't have to do it later. Because again, I'm making 4 of these little tiny notebooks. So I won't get 2 strips out of this section, but I'll get 1 for sure. And this is what we have left over. Okay, barely, maybe it's 1.5 inches. Nope, it's 1 inch. Okay, so here are our strips of paper, and you can glue this together before or after. It does not matter. The only thing that will determine is where your fold goes. Okay, so we know this is our, that's not it. Is this it? That's not it. This is it. Here's our little jacket cover, our little book cover. Okay, we know that it is 1.5 by 2 1/4. Okay, 1.5 by 2 1/4, or actually it's 1 3/4 by 2 1/4. So we know that our pages have to be at least 1 1/4. Right? It's 1 3/4 by 2 1/4. So our pages that go into the book have to be at least 1.5 by 2. So I'm going to take my first strip. Let's just place it up here where you can see it. I'm going to take my first strip and place it down. And these are 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper. And it has to be at least 1 and, what did I say? A half? Yeah, at least 1.5. So I'm going to take the end of that paper and place it to the end of the first paper. Okay, at about 1.5. So here's 1 and there's my half. So I'm just going to glue these 2 pages together right there, and I'm going to use my craft bond because it's extra strength. Okay, and I'm just gonna pop this on right there. 1.5. Okay. Okay, so now we have that. And then all you want to do is take your page, fold it in half, and then you'll know that you'll get an even fold all the way through if you start with the center. Okay, so you start in the center and then you fold it back and forth on itself until you get to the end here, folding it at 1.5 inch folds. Okay, so you can use your scoreboard. Let's try that. I'm just going to use the scoreboard and score it at 1.5. Okay, 3. Okay, 4.5, 6, and then this little piece right here actually measures 2 inches, so we'll score it at 1.5. Okay, so let's just start folding our page back and forth on itself. Where's my score? Oh, there it is. Score mark. Fold it back. Fold it forward. Fold it back. Forward, back. Forward, back. Forward, and back. Alright, and then we can straighten up all of our edges. Whatever did not fold appropriately, we'll just straighten it up before we bone fold it all down. And again, you can make this as long as you like or as short as you like. Just know that this is what the inside of your book will look like. You'll need all of these pages right here to go inside your book. Okay? So yeah, I'm just going to open it up, straighten up my pages that did not score well. And I'm using my center mark. This was where the center of the strip was. So I'm just using my center mark to get a nice tight crease, and then go from there. Straighten that up. Okay. Fold it back and forth and straighten up your folds as you go. Okay, so the assembly part of it is really simple. We have these 2 little excess pieces right here. I'm going to go ahead and snip that off because I don't need them. Do I want to snip them off? No, I'll just fold them back and fold that one back as well. That'll just give me some more support in the book. Okay. And I can glue these back. Where's my PVA? Just gonna glue these back. And glue this side back. And then you want to decide if you want to ink or not. I'm gonna ink with walnut stain. And this is my little folder, my book cover. So I'm just going to go around it with walnut stain and ink it all up. You can round your corners in here if you like. I don't think you can. I mean, I don't think it matters. Not that you can't, you could. I just don't think it really matters too much. Alright, so now that that's done, let's ink here and here. Okay. Now this is where the magic happens. You want to take your little book right here, and you're going to tuck it into this section right here. Okay, can you see that? It's going right into there. That's why your paper has to be 2 inches, because your book cover is 2 1/4 inches. Okay, and you need this to fit in here without it buckling or causing any problems. And then you're just going to take the other side of this book and you're going to tuck that into the other side of the jacket. And that's why we didn't glue down the entire section. So now you have this cute little book. Alright, and to hold it all together, just find the center or pick a center, and and we're going to tie a little string through there. So let me grab some floss or some, yep, here's some floss. I didn't even bring out the whole spool. I just pulled it from the drawer. All right, so now you're gonna take your string, and I like tying mine so that they're both even. Okay, but there's a number of ways you can do this. You can tie it up however, whatever makes you happy. All right, so I'm just tying it. I put the string through there, and then I'm just tying a knot at the bottom. And for me, this works out because I get everything nice and tight right where I want it. You can tie it in a lock knot or a, you know, however, but it's just a little mini notebook, and you get it right where you need it. And so the reason why I needed 5 of these, was it 5 or 4? What did I say, guys? Did I need 5? 4? I don't remember. 4. I need 4 of these. Here, I'll show you why. Okay, so there we have that cutesy little notebook, okay, with a little string hanging from the bottom, and you can put some beads on it. This can be a spine dangle. Like, you can make all kinds of little cute things with this. So here I'm going to grab something else. So here's my little box for my projects that I'm working on. This is strictly for the Monochrome Junk Journal that I'm working on. Okay, don't need the button. So I am going to put a number on each one of my little notebooks. So this one will go here. I'll have another one for the 0, and then another one for the 5. And these again are just some wooden block, wooden numbers that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. They have them all the time. I just went in and inked up the numbers. So I used my Distress ink. This one I used Distress ink in, what is that, black soot. Okay. So, hang on, I'm trying to show it to you. This is my Distress ink in black soot, okay? So, yeah, I just inked those up. These I inked in probably Vintage Photo, maybe. Yeah, so, yeah. So, I have all these different numbers that come in a pack. I believe it's 10 numbers or so in a pack. And, yeah, I just inked them. So I'm going to put this number here, and I'll make 2 more for this. And then I have the letter S, which is my last name, or my new last name will be an S, and that'll go on another book. So those will just dangle from my Monochrome Junk Journal. And this right here, these numbers really represent my very first address that my family lived at when I first came to the United States. I lived at 505 Street in New York in Manhattan. All right, so yeah, that's just a little sentimental thing for me. And here is my new last name, will begin with an S. So yeah, I'm gonna make 3 more books like that. So I have all of my little index cards already folded in half, and yeah, so I'll just continue making these. I hope you guys give this a try because it's super easy to do. Okay, and just remember, crafting, it's fun. It's just fun, guys. Crafting 101. Have a crafty day. Stay naturally curious, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.